Welcome to the PYNK. Welcome to the PYNK. Welcome to the PYNK. The PYNK bag. The PYNK bag. The PYNK bag. We are back for season 2 of the PYNK, y'all. And first off, we're long overdue. We're long overdue. I know y'all done forgot. I done forgot. But even if y'all didn't forget, I didn't forget. Y'all know I smoke too much. Well, no. Maybe y'all didn't know. I might have just ended up dropping that secret and y'all weren't supposed to maybe know that yet. But, okay, look. Come on. Come on with me. Yes, go get it. Pause this, go get it, and come back because we need to get into the PYNK. Okay, we need to get into the PYNK because it ain't even the PYNK right now. The PYNK is under renovations. We is at Poom Poom Land. I don't get in trouble, y'all. So as much as I want to talk dirty and I want to say the P word, I ain't gonna say it. So we in Puss Puss Land. We in Puss Puss Land. Okay, so y'all get into this. Okay, so season 2, episode 1, Puss Puss Land. All right, so first off, let me introduce myself. My name is Hove, H to the OB. No, it's not. So, this is your first time checking one of my recaps. My name is Ash. Come on, sit back and relax. Get your smoke, get your drink, whatever you're going to enjoy because we get into all that foolishness. We love all those that's what I get for always trying to be grown and don't never like really have this introduction like down pack. Like we just in all into all those illegal legal activities if you're legally able to do it. Of course, that's what I mean. Like it may be an illegal activity depending on what state you live in, but you're legally able to do it. Okay? So don't get this wrong if you were under 18 or 21, because I think the smoking age that went up in some cities or states. But yeah. All right, y'all. Let me, let me cause y'all. Oh, first off, hold on. Let's make sure we get that on mute because I don't want none of that picking up in the back. First off, let me just say, I'm just hype for the horse on the merry-go-round horse on the pole. Like you you better work that merry-go-round horse Mercedes. You better twirl it and whirl it and twist it and do bit and bump it and jump it. Like first off, all right, y'all, come on. All right, so boom. We start off this episode with basically, we're seeing this couple, and what this face looks so familiar. And maybe he's from just another TV show. Maybe he wasn't necessarily a character on this show. Y'all remind me if I'm wrong, but so basically they're at I guess like having like a kid's birthday party, and bro needs a break. Like he's ready to check out. So he drives off or whatever, whatnot, leaves the woman with all these kids or whatever, whatnot, hollering, screaming, going crazy. And it's like he's choosing to go to heaven or if he's choosing to go to hell. So like he sees Mercedes' mom with the billboard, even though it's slandered all over. He sees her with that billboard, and then he sees this half naked girl with like one of those signs from like the progressive commercials, and they be twisting them and turning them, advertising car wash plus titties, like clearly like. So he like, come on now, we know what you're gonna choose, Barbara. It's the pandemic. Like, let's can we just talk about that? How do we feel about that? How do we feel about? Because it does seem like that for the most parts. The the regular TV shows does do include like real life stuff into their, their sitcoms or whatever or whatnot. So they're clearly the pandemic is clearly a thing. Like for one, even though Autumn basically kind of like bought the PYNK at the auction, they haven't been back to business. That's why they're doing like this car wash type thing. Because think about it, as a strip club, you come on now, that's not essential. It's not going to be open. You're close all up on people. Like, nah, they definitely going to cap that. And they've been in quarantine. So they have this car wash business that they're advertising that's basically like, hand job, which I guess is the hand job of your whip. What was it? Was it the I can't even remember what the second one was, but the third one was like the Mercedes special. So it's kind of like you getting a special wash, but what you really is getting that good old Mercedes work. Okay, y'all, I'm excited for the PYNK. I'm mad I didn't recap it when it first came, but I'm here for us. I'm here for y'all. So y'all can be with my foolishness. So, all right. I'm focused because I'm about to get all off focus here and be all over the place. But we're gonna try to like keep this going in a in a normal way. But yes, so Autumn and Mercedes, Autumn, aka Haley, of course, they're clearly, still the main girls. Some of the other girls may have still been there from, I don't know, first off, what kind of name is, hold on. Oh, my iPad done locked on me. Y'all, like, who, these girls just look tired. Like, who are they? Like, when they was dancing, don't get me wrong, when they was dancing, they was looking good. But when, after they did, like, their little, like, for the guy, they look a mess. And of course, Keyshawn not here, but somebody else got a baby. So it'd only be right if somebody else got a baby. And what was her name? Extra, extra. So we got Toy, Brazil, Jupiter, and Extra Extra, obviously outside of Mercedes and Autumn, which Autumn is clearly a owner. So Autumn is clearly not, she got her hands on the business side. I don't think she really, while she out there, dressed like it, looking sexy, I don't think she not actually giving out her business no more or whatever or whatnot. So back to what I was saying though, basically. So like this whole new setup, I actually kind of like it. Like it's actually kind of cute. It's kind of sexy. So imagine like you're really going in for like a real car wash, and then like all the ladies are just washing your car all sexy like and half naked, and then here come Clifford. For a second, I thought it was a setup. I thought Clifford was the show. And in a way, I was like, okay, nah, Clifford ain't the show. Here come Mercedes. Like, Mercedes ready to do her thing on this merry-go-round horse on the pole. Like, that just got me. I don't even want the pink to open back up. Like, I'm perfectly okay with with Poo Poo Land. Puss Puss Land. That's what I called it. With Puss Puss Land. I'm perfectly okay with that going forward because I'm kind of liking that vibe. So, like I said, you know, Autumn and Mercedes, the main girls, obviously Autumn is kind of like running things, as an owner. And so Autumn is doing like the payouts or whatever for everybody. Mercedes has an issue with that because basically it's basically all the money is going into one big pot and they're all splitting it evenly. And Mercedes is just like at the end of the day, these people are coming here to see the Mercedes special. They coming to see this ass. So with that being said, at least she should feel like she should be getting a cut. Even though Big L over here, come on now, he needs to call a contribution if he bringing in these little wangs. Like, I'm trying to taste the weed wangs. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I mean, I'm trying to get in on these wangs. But, whatever. So, she making a little ruckus about that. Which at the same time, I'm not mad at her. But at the same time, y'all are in a pandemic, and even though these guys are really coming out to see you, everybody else got to eat too. Everybody else got to get their bread. But if she is a main, she'll like, first off, she got a whole, like, yeah, true, you all have a whole special for her. Come on now, y'all have a whole special for her on your little marquee. So yeah, it's kind of like baby girl should be getting like an extra something for this show that that she putting on. And here come Toy. Oh, you not this, you not good. No, you tired. Sit down. Don't be trying to come for Mercedes. I don't like that. Y'all tired. Like, whatever. So, meantime, between time, of course, while they over here arguing and fussing about that, mind you, Keyshawn and Lil Murda then grabbed up on this little deal. And their video comes up and they pop in, whatever, whatever, because the little thing kind of ended with Murda and Clifford or whatever or whatnot. And of course, come on now. Of course, Mercedes is feeling some type of way because what? Keyshawn is out the strip club. She, supposed to have bigger and better things for her. She was supposed to have her last dance, and her last dance ended because her mama skimmed her out of her own money, which I'm still feeling like she still needs an ass whooping for that. So, you two gonna kill me for all this cussing I'm doing. Hopefully not, but so, besides that or whatever going on, like, Clifford ain't even like, he's like, like whatever, like we ain't even to focus on that, like we ain't talk about none of that or whatever no more. Like he don't want no part, especially if it even got something to do with little murder or whatever or whatnot. So mind you, like I was saying, Autumn is owner of the club or whatever or whatnot, and Big L tells Clifford how basically that yeah, Big L tells Clifford that they did not get the relief loan or whatever or whatnot, and so that basically puts Autumn to start asking questions in regards to like where's the money, like what's going on. Clearly, come on now, this is not a non-essential business. Like let's be real, no matter who got big blue balls, Clifford, this is not essential. Okay, so she's trying to figure out like, okay, put 250K down for basically to the auction to save this whole place. I give you all of that money. Clifford's like, well, I had to make sure the girls were taken care of. Basically 55K went to that. It's still a whole lot of money left over. He had like some loan that, hey, again, got taken care of. It's still a mess load of money. And so he's just like, basically putting the money back into the PYNK and, whatever, whatever, which of course they had to renovate that paradise room because of what happened in there with Autumn shooting old boy or whatever, whatnot, and Big L over here being shady. Oh, well, if that's the amount, what he said, if that's the amount it is for paying to get rid of people or something like that, I'm just asking for a friend, like some just talking smack, like you just shut up. But if anything, it shut Autumn up. So, so y'all, but they get good news. They end up getting good news that the restriction has been lifted, and so basically, boom, that opens things up. Now they can get back into the club because they have been able to work in the club because of COVID restrictions and things or whatnot. So, along with them lifting the COVID restrictions, though, it comes to what happens is the mayor, Clydell, whatever his last name was, end up passing away due to COVID. And while it's kind of like, you know, this might take things off the table as far as the whole, casino thing. One of the Wayne's brothers ends up, or is that his first name? Y'all know them boys I'm talking about. Them other boys, them clear boys that they was having it out with, last season. It's going to be the interim mayor or whatever or whatnot. So it's still like, hmm, where is that going to put us? How is this going to affect once things come back up, things open back up or whatever? Are they still going to try to push for this casino? Because we know the mayor, Uncle Goddaddy, was like pushing for Andre, like to get all these deals and to get Clifford to sell. And we know Clifford was not selling. Speaking of Andre, right? Because they got the most weirdest openings, and I be sitting here like, what is going on? Because off top, y'all, I did not recognize Andre's wife when she pulled up, and like, yo, that whole like that was real. That was real right there. Even like for like, cause you seen stuff and like how people may be moving or not moving or whatever or whatnot when COVID was like really when we were all in like on lockdown. So to see her like literally going in the complete body looks like the basement of the house. That's where she eats. That's where she sleeps. That's where she dresses. She's a nurse, so I'm pretty sure all she's doing down there is waking up and showering. I mean, sleeping and showering and going to work. So she's a nurse, probably constantly on duty. She looks worn. Why does her face look like all bruised? Did she get what, y'all? I literally said I should probably watch this, but I was like, no, I need to go ahead and get into this. I'm already late. I don't want to be too late. Like, why she look all beat up like this? Like, is this what happened? Like, was it just rough at the hospital? So she, she's trying to get herself together or whatever, whatnot, and basically, to keep, him from getting sick and stuff like that, she's chosen to, not come into the main house. So his job or whatever, of course, is to make sure that she has what she needs. She ends up having to come to the main house because one, he's not answering phone calls. So, and she needs, like some milk or some almond milk or something. And it's like, bruh, are you depressed? He's depressed. Come to find out, he actually got fired shortly after COVID. Later on, we find that out. But she's like, well, what have you been doing all day? Like, stuff is everywhere, trash is everywhere. They don't have no kids. So it's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what is going on or whatever or whatnot? So, of course, Eloise ends up calling him, about his godfather passing and, his wife is like, you're really going to go down there in the midst of that pandemic, in the midst of everything that's going on. I'm trying to stay away from you so you don't get sick, and then you about to go over here and then possibly get sick, like, and then you're barely even worried about what I have going on. Like, I, as a nurse, she, that was like just real life stuff, the stuff that a lot of these nurses have seen day to day when COVID was like really, I don't even want to say COVID, oh, I don't want to say that word, when the pandemic, when the pandemic was just, whew, when it was huge, y'all know, in the beginning of the pandemic, y'all know what's up. So either way, she's like, okay, he's like, okay, maybe I won't go to the funeral, but I have to pay my respects or whatever, whatnot. She's like, okay, cool, go early, whatever, whatever. Because if anything, black folk always late. So if anything, you need to go early. So, boom, we deal with that, right? So I think we're down to, oh yes, Mr. Mr. Murder and them or whatever, whatnot, Lil Murder. He's, working on some music or whatever or whatnot, but it looks like he was the one trying to reach out to Clifford, and Clifford was like no response. And if I remember correctly, how things did end up getting like funky between them. And it was funny because Lil Murray was just like, oh, so this is just all what we gonna do? Like, we just gonna hide here, bump butts, and whatever, whatever, whatever. But then when Clifford tried to roll up on him in the midst of like he's in front of his dudes and trying to do his deal, Lil Murder like brushed him off, and that was like kind of like felt like it was like the end, like it was kind of just like both of y'all knew what was up, and then both of y'all then tried to cross the boundary, and then both of you got rejected by each other. Like, what we want to do here? Like, what we trying to do? So on one side, it's like I kind of want them like to be together, and then on the other end, it's kind of like, nah, I kind of want to let this drama play out, see how this gonna do, see how this gonna roll or whatever or whatnot, right? So clearly, even though Murder out here getting deals, he clearly out here still, dealing or whatever or whatnot. If you want to put into so many words. So here was my thing: when the car pulled up, and he immediately got suspicious, went to the back of his pants, to grab his wep or whatever or whatnot. Why? At first it was like a cool interaction, like, oh bro, like, oh, when you gonna put a new joint out, bye bye bye. He's like, oh yeah, cool, like, yeah, soon, doom doom doom. And then dude in the back seat hit that serious lean forward, like, yeah, you see me. Yeah, he see you. I see you too. What was that? Y'all, get in these comments. Y'all know how I do. If you're not new to my recaps, you gonna see how I do, okay? Whatever I'm missing, fill in the blanks below, or I'll end up commenting first. Anything that I just might have forgot or didn't hit on or whatever, what I want to make sure that I do hit on. Did he have a beef or a thing with somebody? Because he looked like he definitely knew who that was, and he did not want to be looking at that dude. Like, I don't, that part of me definitely got me, because I really, obviously him trying to shoot off his career, and then his secret relationship with Clifford. I don't recall any more stuff with him. So on that note, y'all, Mercedes and Autumn are staying together, basically. Well, let's be clear. Autumn is staying with Mercedes. And so Mercedes sounds like she's in that room getting her back broke out. Like somebody's tearing that thing down. And can I say, is it clear? Wait a minute. She was making all that noise over a toy? My my rolls don't even make me make all that noise. So whatever it is that she got, or do I just be holding it in? It don't even matter. We getting too much information. We getting into too much. I ain't letting y'all into all that. Y'all, she was in there hollering. She was in that thing hollering, got all them banging on the door, whatever, whatever, whatever. So either way, she like basically when you basically you wearing out your welcome. Don't you hate that though? Like when people come and stay with you and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm only gonna be here, but for so long," or they, with this, expect this from me, and then they got the nerve to be picky, as if they got all this time in the words. Like, well, why does I find nothing that I love? Like Mercedes is gonna find something that you like, sit there for a year, and then you go to the place that you love. Cause we ain't got. Mercedes want her space. Mercedes trying to do her thing, but at the same time, Mercedes probably could use the help. I would hope that clearly Autumn is staying there and helping the girl get some type of dollar, some type of dime, giving her something to help to pay the bills. Outside the fact that she did offer to basically, she understands she got two mortgages, because she helped her, gave her money for the gym or whatever or whatnot, and, plus the mortgage on her home. So, she's like, well, I can at least, what you said was right. You do deserve more for what you've been doing and for holding the pink down. So I am going to go ahead, and slide this on to you. But what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to put an ad out basically to hire more girls. No, you're not. Mercedes was with none of that. She's like, no, I'll make it work. I can teach these other girls how to get up with the stuff, but hiring more girls, it's just not it. And, Autumn just feels like, basically the other two main hitters, Gidget and Keyshawn. I feel like it was one more person or whatever or whatnot. Yeah, because that's right. Something happened to her because she was trying to make hand sanitizer out of tequila. Yeah, Clifford was talking about that. I just can't remember her name right now. I think it's something like with an M. But so she's like, we need somebody to help you. Plus, you need to give your shoulder, like some relief and some time, to heal. And she's like, nah, like whatever. Like she's not bringing like Keyshawn's name, and like she got like super pissed. So like the beef really with the beef that Keyshawn, get it right, actually, the beef that Cliff and Mercedes have with Keyshawn was the fact that basically she pulled the gun on Diamond, because that was my first question as well. We seeing everybody. Big L is even still around. Where's Keyshawn? Not where's Keyshawn. Where's Diamond? Where's our boy Diamond? Where's Diamond? At the same time, he was security. He was like, a bouncer. So there's nothing to bounce here. So, you know, we do see him now. But before we even get there, so that's like their thing. They like he put the gun out on family, and she's like, well, you don't understand. She's like, actually, I do. And wow, I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off at Keyshawn for putting that gun out on Diamond, especially the way Diamond was treating her. And then actually, at the same time though, we actually thought that Keyshawn was gonna leave her dude for Diamond. It wasn't gonna happen. It takes too many times. It takes it takes a lot of times before victims, I'll say victims, leave their abusers or whatever or whatnot. And in that sense, how I seen it was, just like I don't like, I'm not about to let you hurt him. So please, before I have to hurt you, I don't want to have to hurt you, but I can't let you hurt him, because a part of her is still like, I need him. He's my everything. He's my this. He's my that. That's the that's the abuse. That's the what the mental, what the mind does. When you're in an abusive like relationship. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm politically correct or anything like that, because I'm just talking, y'all. So even just moving on from that or whatever or whatnot, so because we get a little taste of Miss Keyshawn and her life, because of course I was like, okay, something told me, because something was just like, her life ain't all that great though. It may look like everything is all cool and everything is all great, but no, now that the pandemic is back on, baby daddy got her in the corner, in the room, basically, to not even leave the room or whatever whatnot. So we see her getting all sexy, getting all cute, ready to do this whole, like, the room is decked out, so you cannot even think that she's at home. Okay, like the lights, like the aesthetics of that whole room was just very sexy, right? So like I said, aesthetics is right. Everything's looking right. She does this nice little sexy little stripper pole show or whatever whatnot on live or whatever whatnot. But and mind you, we do see the boyfriend. They show clips of the boyfriend feeding the baby or whatever whatnot. So it makes you think for a second like he's watching her on live, while she's living her best life. Baby, Baby Keyshawn was in the next room. Keyshawn was in the next room doing her thing. He's clearly, watching and, basically like, yeah, you do this, you do that, watching her like do her whole little thing and, she's talking about how, you know, she's ready to get back out there. Doing what she used to do, getting in front of people, and he has no plans on that. He's like, for what, basically, when you can continue to do what you do here? You don't need to go out anywhere. I'll go back out here because basically you're getting to make all the bread. You're getting kind of like to have all the fun while I get to sit at home and just watch you, on this good old live. So clearly like that ain't what she wants. Clearly she's not happy. So thanks for proving my point that everything wasn't all good, because that was my thought was, after she did all that for that man, did she really leave that man? You better not have, for after you was ready to shoot Diamond, for ready to kill your, for almost killing your man. Like that was your out. But again, you don't see it that way when you're in this abusive relationship or whatever or whatnot. So nonetheless or whatever whatnot, like I said, what's the name has these two, Mercedes has these two, mortgages, because she is paying a mortgage now because she does have this, gym. But pandemic, of course, it cannot officially be opened. So, she's talking to all the girls on Zoom. She's like, hey, y'all, like, we're going to have practice starting next week. I just need y'all parents to come on and, get in these registration fees. Everybody's hurt right now. Nobody's working. A lot of people are out of work. So they're like, their moms are like, well, my mom can't really afford it. Somebody was like, well, my mom said that, not that I can't, not that she can't afford it, but basically just right now, no, just maybe after all this stuff is over. And as I'm sitting here in the prison, like, do we know this stuff ain't over no time soon? Like, we was all thinking, like, oh, next year we're gonna get back to our lives. It's now 2 years later, and we are kind of getting back to normal. Kinda, right? So, all right, so while she's over there dealing with that back at the PYNK or whatever, how is it that Autumn got some more secrets. Autumn, this might not be Autumn's first little killing, hurting somebody, whatever. So back at the PYNK, now that the restriction has been lifted, they in there, trying to finish the room, trying to finish the reservations, especially that main room, and get that room right or whatever, whatnot. And first off, I feel like that's not going. Why did they get scared? Thinking like, was that really just a scary moment just to scare us for a second to think that somebody's still around or somebody is still lurking? Because I didn't know what that was, but I was expecting somebody or something just to pop out or something scary to happen and turn this thing all the way around. But it was old Autumn. She's taking out the new paradise room, whatever. But baby girl notices this stain still on the wall. Here she go. He's like, yeah. The big L's like, yeah. I use bleach. And Clifford's like, we weren't supposed to use bleach. Food, we supposed to use peroxide. She was like, yeah, no. Paint the walls red. Blood, always like seeps. Ends up like seeping, coming back through or making itself visible. And they was looking at her like, why do you know this? I have that same question too. Why do you know this? Like you are Haley, you got some secrets in your closet, girl, okay? So obviously that's all going on that, right? Fast forward, to Clifford, not Clifford, Lil Murda, who is checking in on his manager or whatever or whatnot, because he wants to get back on tour. Why do I feel like him wanting to get on tour is a slight scare from that drive by, that slight little drive by that happened to his house? I don't know. Yes, they were working on music, but all of a sudden this whole I don't know, something's not right, y'all. Something's not sitting well, something's not rubbing well. Either way, manager dude is just like, at the end of the day, basically the only reason why you relevant or you popping right now is because of Keyshawn, and everybody who has been able to get out has been, all these niggas that's been dying to get out are now able to to actually just see her on the screen. So that's why your video is getting the views that it's getting, like whatever. So if you go on tour, Keyshawn is still gonna be like your heavy hitter. She's gonna be like still like what who people are coming out, to see or whatever or whatnot. So He takes that as a moment, to go ahead, like to hit up Keyshawn and to see, like, how she feel about a tour or whatever or whatnot. She playing things cool, but we know good and darn well that that baby daddy pimp of hers, ain't letting her, go nowhere. She's like, oh, the pandemic, like, no, 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 or whatever, whatnot. But you need to run me my money because apparently he owe her money. So clearly, they're not as rolling in dough as it may seem. They may be up and coming, but they're not like the it yet or whatever or whatnot. So after she talks to, after Keyshawn talks to Lil Murda, things just get real suspicious. And I was like, what is she doing? Like, I knew she was going to end up trying to do something sneaky, but I couldn't figure out exactly, like, what it was. So she's changing the baby. She throws, the dirty diaper away in the diaper pail. And as she's looking into the diaper pail, she takes more regular diapers and clean diapers and stuffs them in the diaper pail. And I'm like, is she hiding something? Is she hiding money in there? Is she secretly hiding like a phone? Or like what is she doing? So what she was doing was she was throwing away the diapers so that it would seem like that they need more diapers so that she could end up like getting away or whatever and getting outside of the house. Because like I said, oh boy ain't been letting her out nowhere. So in the midst of her being out and about, she's talking to Gidget, and Gidget unfortunately, had lost her mom, and that's how she ended up leaving, the club or whatever or whatnot. And she's lying to Gidget, of course, oh no, we're actually doing good. He actually let me out, so I guess well, not even that she said he let me out. She was just like he allowed me to get like either way. It was like a permission type of thing. Clearly, still, she could get some fresh air or whatever, whatever, whatnot. So y'all, he literally got this girl so like first off, who has a particular day of the month that they go and like get their like feminine products? Because when she was just like, oh, he was like, oh, I just bought diapers or whatever. She was like, oh, well, I'll go get them. He was like, oh, no, I'll get it. She was like, yeah, but no, I wanted to get some pads. I'm not some pads, like some tampons or whatever or what. And he was like, but what? It's not the fourth. Who cares? I need, like, girl, like, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. You got to do something about that. You got to get from under this guy. So, like I said, she ends up running into Diamond at the dollar store, y'all. And this will piss me off. This what would piss me off is when girls, when you clearly make your decision and then they be trying to come back to the dude like, I'm sorry. Like, what do you expect from that man? And I get where she was coming from. Like, I was just trying to what was she saying? Like I was just trying to, so you wouldn't it was just going too far and it did this and this, it was just that, and it was just like I don't want to hear none of that. Diamond was looking like I don't want to hear none of that. Like he literally sat in my face and called me like basically, out my name while you like these. Like I can only imagine how he talks to you. And even if he don't talk to you like that, that was my immediate thought. Even when they recapped it in the previews or whatever before they started the show, I was like, but you want this man? You want this man who belittles and talks about your own race, the very thing that you are, and you're gonna try to tell Diamond that he don't talk to you like that? He never has talked to you like that? At this point, he may never have. But I don't believe it because you just sat up here and you just lied to Gidget about, oh, y'all are good. Yeah, you're good with him keeping you in the house. Okay, but whatever. Y'all, it pissed me off. Like it didn't. Tell me about the necklace. What was the thing about the necklace? Because when she tried to give it to him, and he was just like, didn't he give her that necklace? I thought he gave her that necklace or whatever or whatnot, which will make sense. He gave her that necklace for something, for like strength or like whatever. I just feel like it just made sense. So even if it didn't happen, this is how it sounded like it made sense. I definitely feel like he gave her that necklace to begin with first. Well, I could be wrong, so correct me. And obviously, because of her circumstances that he was in, that and it meant something. And so the necklace meant something. So when she tried to give it back to him, and he's like, "I don't want something if it don't work," I was like, that would make sense because if this necklace is supposed to like give you strength or wisdom or whatever, he gave it to her to hopefully to gain that, and clearly didn't work because look, she's still with her abuser. So he's like, yeah, no. And then as well, so he's like, well, I can't let you in the store, because you don't have a mask. And Shorty really thought that he was just gonna be like, oh yeah, you can go. Even though it's a whole mandate out here, we get like it's a whole mandate. You gotta wear a mask in the store, and you thinking because you gotta go in there real quick, he's gonna let you slide up in there. Nah, nah, baby girl, that's not how that went. Diamond outed with that girl and Pokeshawn. She walked away looking low key hurt. I honestly, I'm so sorry. I was tight about how she did Diamond. Again, as much as I understand it, the other part of me was just like, girl, girl, no, you need to let him kill that man. But hey, that would have put Diamond in a situation, whatever, whatever. But let's first off, all right. So Andre does show up. Andre does, Andre comes in town, attends, probably like the not the repast, but what is it called? Like the wake. He probably like went to the wake. Yes, it was the wake because it wasn't the funeral yet. He attends the wake, and then he does end up, of course, running into Autumn. And at first, for a second, I was like, okay, they have some slight words, little banter or whatever or whatnot. If you want to call it banter or whatnot, and then it's kind of like over. But at the end of it, she's just like, funerals aren't for the dead; they're for the living. I felt that. It made a lot of sense. And I felt like that was what he needed. That was what he needed to hear as far as because he did say that, he wouldn't have basically he wouldn't be able to go to the funeral or whatever or whatnot. So her saying that I think allowed him to be like it is okay. Like this isn't for him. Like this is more, for you. This is for us as people who are living and still grieving this person, that has passed on. So I kind of felt that. So he does go to the funeral and everybody is in like this is in Louisiana, right? I just feel like this was a very much Louisiana, funeral or whatever whatnot. If you know like how Louisiana funerals like, go down or whatever whatnot. I'm saying it like we have not watched this all season for a whole season, but y'all, I smoke too much, okay? And then for one, it's been going off too much. So sometimes, no, I don't want to be going on and watching the whole season all over again just to get a good recap of what happened. That good recap in the beginning is enough for me, and then we just gonna move on or whatever or whatnot. So they decked out in a good old lime green at this funeral or whatever or whatnot, and Eloise had asked him to be a pallbearer, and at first, again, thinking that he wasn't going to attend. With him attending, he does end up, being a pallbearer at the funeral. He goes, to the repast, with the family, and he's chilling with the family or whatever or whatnot. And Cliff shows up, but mind you, Cliff showed up because oh, I girl. I call her auntie. I think that's his grandma. I felt like that was his aunt in the beginning. In the beginning of it, I felt that was his aunt. But is it his grandma? Because he referred to her as Grandma Ernestine in front of everybody else. But that could have been like because she's like a grandmother to them, but not necessarily to him. But either way, Ernestine, she's blind or whatever or whatnot, and she's talking about, who's at the funeral because, was it Mookie gonna be making those chitlins or whatever or whatnot? So basically telling him that he need to go and get up on them chitlins for her or whatever, whatnot. Talk about some, well, she just go by herself, ready to pick up some keys, like she could drive somewhere. Girl, sit down somewhere. So, um, at the repast, and like I said, Clifford shows up, and oh, our good old them Wayne's boys, that the interim mayor, shows up or whatever or whatnot, and basically tells Andre and them how he's basically up for standing with the previous mayor. And moving with the casino as that's what he wanted or whatever or whatnot. And basically, Clifford was just like, well, we can basically let's just make this all interesting because at the end of the day, you talk about you ain't got no running mate, so while it comes down to the bottom vote, I can be your running mate. I can run for mayor, and just like I got all these votes to try to stop this casino thing going on. I could possibly get these votes that can make me mayor. Like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me because everybody know that they love the mayor of aka P Valley. Okay, so y'all, that we know that's gonna be a thing, right? We know that's gonna be an issue, right? Like, cause he didn't he kind of like approach Andre after Clifford walked away to kind of like still like to seem like to get him on board or like whatever, whatever, whatever. Either way, nah, we gotta hit on that. Nah, we gotta hit on that. What happened? Let me see here, y'all. Yeah, other guy put on here that Andre that he tried to make peace with Andre and it didn't go nowhere. So, like I said, girl, why was what's the name in the crib with that baby? What is really going on? Like she whatever it was after her little after her moment with after her moment of seeing Diamond. Like for one, I think she's like in a, like she kind of like in a rough spot. Like she really don't necessarily know what to do. Like she knows necessarily she can't necessarily run back to the pink because of you know she messed up that relationship by pulling a gun on Diamond, and then as well, it's kind of like she really can't even necessarily get under from under her baby dad. So it's kind of like she's in a rock and a hard place. But nonetheless, she still hits up Murda like, hey, let's do this tour. We'll call it a dozen nights, or what did she say that they decided they were going to call it? Yeah, they were going to call it the tour Dirty Dozen, 12 cities, 12 nights. How's she going to pull this off, y'all? I will never know but she got the plan in mind. When she went over there and hugged up and got in that crib with that baby, I said, okay, yeah, something going on. Something going on. She is really feeling the effects of everything that's happening right now, and something is about to pop. I don't know how she's gonna pull these things out of her bag, but I'm anxious to see it. Cause why I want to call him Dylan? Is that his name? Is his name Dylan? Boy, y'all. Oh, that's what happened, y'all. So, Andre ends up staying at which I'm guessing like was his godfather's house or whatever or whatnot, because nobody was staying there or whatever whatnot. Mookie was saying that whatever whatever. So he ends up staying there. Um, but he gets like a knock at the door, and then all of a sudden there is money on the porch. And oh, who's also on the porch? On the bottom of the porch, on the curb, is our good old buddy Corbin. Talk about some that he is there to put Andre on retainer. Now we want to hire back our boy because they want to get him back on trying to get the pink, trying to get that waterfront that they need for this casino, right? So he's like, y'all know Clifford is not selling. He's already made that clear. But it did not go over heads that Clifford is no longer the main owner or the sole owner of the pink. So he talked about some, yeah, but maybe you could get the girl to sell. And I very well, I see things going down in fire because she gonna want to sell. I don't see this just so easily just going over with her just being a flat out no. Like she's just gonna say no, y'all. The way she about this paper and the way it seemed like she running, 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 and how she actually trying to run things, like, y'all, she is not to be trusted. She is not to be trusted, and if you trust her, you better rethink because, like I said, told y'all, there's more skeletons. There's more skeletons, and let's not even go into think that possibly oh boy is dead. What if he ain't dead? Like y'all know how they do with these shows. Like like okay, we not gonna I ain't gonna do my theories yet. I ain't gonna do my theories. It's early on. I think I done made this long enough for y'all. Let me make sure I kinda like hit on everything. Back let me see. I'm gonna put that. So just about the ending or whatever or whatnot before, Keyshawn had hit Lil Murder up about the tour, whatever or whatnot. Um Mercedes and Autumn back at the crib, watching what love got to do with it, whatever, whatever. Mercedes on Instagram, scrolling, 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 and she sees the ad for the new dancers for the pink and goes ham because she distinctly told Autumn that don't hire no more girls. We already are, just getting bread by what we got. Like, we don't need to add nobody to the mix or whatever or whatnot. Like nah. And they already, skipping off of that one pot. They barely getting customers. Like, why would you, continue? But of course, Autumn feels like she's doing what's best for the club. She's doing feels like that they need more people. This is what's best. Excuse her for basically saving the club. Excuse her for all this righteousness, all this stuff that's been like that she's saving everybody and she's looking out for everybody and all this stuff. Mm-mm. I don't like it. I don't trust it. And then of course she hit her with the I'm the owner of the club type again when Mercedes asked her, does Clifford know that she's trying to bring in more girls? No, I'm the owner of the club. Da, 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 da. Y'all, that owner stuff is going that stuff's gonna come back because she gonna be the one that's gonna feel like that she the one that's gonna get to make a decision on something, something, something. And while she may not want to end up selling the whole club, she gonna want in on some type of like y'all just I don't trust her. I don't. Oh, no, no, no. I'll tell y'all what got me. I'll tell y'all what got me. Andre gonna learn some stuff. Andre is definitely gonna learn some stuff. Dang, I said I'm gonna speak no theories, no. I said I won't do it. No, Andre's going to learn something. The fact that when he was at, his godfather's house, a former mayor's house, and he found a video, and of the VHS, it said Abraham's son. And right before that, before he could even pop it in a VHS, before we could even possibly see, that's when Corbin knocked on the door with the money on the porch. Y'all, I'm ready for the secrets. I'm part of me might have felt like that. The God Daddy was his real daddy, maybe all this time or whatever, or something like that. Like, okay, I'm not gonna get in too deep because we've already been at this for going on almost an hour, and y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. Catch me next time. Hopefully it won't be so long. But it was the introduction. And I was excited. And yeah. I ain't even gonna speak nothing about what the video is gonna look like for the PYNK coming up in these next following weeks. So make sure I drop some comments for your girl. Throw me some likes up there. And of course, if you think you might like me, roll with me. Maybe you wanna hit that subscribe button. Alright, y'all. Let's get on out of here. I'll see y'all next week. Matter of fact, today's Sunday, so tomorrow's Monday. So I'll see y'all tomorrow for Basketball Wives. Peace. Later, y'all.